I had just lost my dad, and I think being around, guys like Pat Patterson, Jack Lanza, even Vince. I remember Vince, when I was at the headquarters there in Stanford working out at the facility, I would go there after our training during the day, maybe, go home, have a meal, rest up a bit, and then I'd go back and train. I had a little fob, a key to get into the garage and get into the workout facility, and I sometimes walk in and surprisingly see Vince. Not surprisingly, because he's a maniac with working out, but there's Vince, and I always, it's weird, I felt like this gravitation towards, like, you felt like almost like a father figure, and so you're hearing these stories about your dad, and these are grown men that are around your dad's age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, but right around that, that era, and I just, I don't know why I started going down this path when I started talking about this, but I think we're talking about, family and being alone, and I think for me, I think I just wanted to feel accepted and be brought into the WWE family, quote unquote, if that's even such a thing. I think that exists for just a very small percentage of people, right? A very, very select group. And I think deep down in my heart of hearts, I think that's probably, why I had a piece of it that I just had a hard time letting go. There was a sense of, a little bit of sense of betrayal, honestly.
Yeah.
I felt betrayed, and again, I don't want to sound like some sap story and pointing fingers. I'm not. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity that I did have. I've learned over the years that wrestling fans and think, social media, thank God for social media, I guess, in a positive sense, that it's kept me somewhat relevant and my name kind of floating out there. Because think about, 20, 30 years ago, if you were out of the business for 15, 18 years, you'd be pretty much forgotten about unless you just showed up every once in a while. So, I think for me, though, it just was this relationship that I kept in my heart, whether they knew it or not, and they probably didn't, because how would they? They're so busy in their own world doing their thing. In that business, it's just next night, next city, next show, move on to the next thing. It's a machine, right? And
yeah.
I think that I just had this deep-rooted sense of betrayal, and as the years went by, and I kept feeling rejected, constantly rejected by this company. And idea, no, we're not interested. And it just built up over and then the WWE Hall of Fame thing, that just.
Yeah, I think that was the icing. That was the icing right there. I remember that day, and I remember how upset you were, and I can't really blame you for being upset on that day. I would have been as well.
Yeah, no, it really sucked, but,
hey, let's move on to something positive, because we're getting into all this negative. I told you I was going to keep you for like 15 minutes, and we're going on 40. this is all.
I do want to say one thing, though.
Okay.
I want all the listeners to know this, too. I don't allow that. I don't subject myself to it anymore. For the longest time, I kind of let that linger. It's like a toxin that just kind of lingers. It's like a bad relationship or a bad marriage or something. I finally let it go, and I finally have peace with it. I really do. So that's the positive note. And if anything, I'm going to use it as part of my story. It's part of my story. It's part of. It's not. That wrestling experience was a very, very small percentage of my life. I was only in it for like 4 years. You know what I mean? Now, I've been around the business, was kind of bred into it, so it's got a little bit deeper roots in me, obviously, but I don't let it consume me. I don't even have, I really don't even have hard feelings for anything anymore. I really don't. So, I let it go, man.
Yeah. But,
like I said, I don't want to sound contradicting, but I do have a little compartment put away, kind of like in the attic, so to speak. And, if it ever needed to get dusted off and you needed to pull from something to really bring an emotion into a character that was real, and basically, expose, like, I think a best storyline would be, let's just expose the truth. Let's expose what had happened. Let's expose reality, man. And let's just parallel that into the work, the storyline, the theatrics of whatever that storyline is. But I'm not afraid to talk about it, man. I don't care. There was a time that I said I wouldn't admit it, or I'm not going to, I'm going to show my poker. I don't give a shit. I got nothing to lose. That's part of me as a speaker, man, is being authentic and real and being honest. And, yeah, I feel very shit on by that company. And I held it, deep within for the longest time. It was consuming me, and I didn't even realize it. But I've let it go, and I have complete peace with it. I honestly do. And I realized that I was actually embraced more than I thought. I look back at some of my matches and my work, I cringe, like, oh my God, I wish I could redo that, but it is what it is. And I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity, man. So I thank them for being shit on, for feeling disrespected and disregarded and not valued and rejected and betrayed. Well, betrayal is a big word. I felt betrayed for a while. I don't anymore. I don't care anymore. It is what it is. I let that go. But I thank them for that opportunity, and I thank them for the experience, even getting shit on, because I have already used it and will continue to use it in a positive way. There's always a story to everything, and there's always a real reason and a message with everything that we do in life. So there you have it.